I'm at an interesting point in my life right now. I just turned 30 and I've noticed that when I don't document things for myself, the years just blur together. I always thought it would take too much time to put together, but in reality, it is also what made my memories more memorable. So to start the year, I have a challenge with my girlfriend: post one video a week or pay $1,000 fine. This is week 1. Hola from Lisbon. There's one thing that I really love about Lisbon so far is that there really seems to be views everywhere you go in the city, and part of that being is that there's so many hills, and that's also part of the challenge of walking in the city is that there are so many hills, but because of those hills you have these stunning views all the time, and I think that to me is totally worth the trade-off. And then another cool thing about here, and also earlier where I was in Spain, is that there are these orange trees that are just everywhere. But apparently the Moors who planted them way back in the medieval times made sure to plant distasteful oranges so that people wouldn't eat them, and then you can leave them out there so it's nice and beautiful. And that it is. And apparently it's actually illegal for you to eat those oranges because it's like government property and you're defacing government property. It's like vandalism. But what do I know? I'm just a tourist. There's a park that I really wanted to check out, and that park is right here. Ooh. A little lost and found bench right here. That's kind of sick. And then what I love about Europe is that they really decorate their buildings very festively, whereas I feel like in the US it's not so much a cultural thing but more of a capitalism thing. It's like, is this gonna drive sales? I feel like that's just how the decisions are made in the US. It's like, if there's money in this decision, let's do it. I'm liking the vibes here right now. Oh, here we go.
Pobre de quem entendeu que a beleza de amanhecidade e só querendo pedir, caso me quer perder, pra encontrar você, que é preciso perdoar.
I think a lot of things in Europe remind me of New York, but I think the funny part about that is that New York is the way that it is because of the history. I don't want to say that I'm not into history because I feel like that's not totally the case, but I think when you learn history from textbooks, it's really uninteresting, right? Like, you hear about a bunch of old people who are dead, and then they say, you know, you can learn a lot from history because mistakes always repeat itself, and you draw, I guess, learnings from things that happened in the past. But I think the key part about that statement is that it has to be relevant to you. And I don't think it was very relevant to me as, you know, 4th grader learning about European history. So I just thought it was pretty uninteresting. But now that I'm here and I'm able to draw, I guess, ties into other experiences of my life, I'm like, oh, that's quite interesting, because I see how New York has been shaped by the European, I guess, influences that ultimately influenced the US to be what it is. Someone might say that's super obvious. Well, for me it wasn't. This is my first time in Europe, so that's what my conclusion is. I think Portuguese food is really similar to a lot of Asian food, and I think part of that is because there has been inspiration, and that's also part of history as well, where food is shaped by the colonizers back in the day. Some may say that's super obvious, and I knew that, but it's different to feel it, and it's different to witness it firsthand. So those are my observations. I thought it was pretty cool. Peep this. So this is like the Golden Gate Bridge of Lisbon. I'm totally gonna get flamed for that, but it really looks like the Golden Gate Bridge. It's like red, it's got the same shape. Tell me that's not the Golden Gate Bridge. One of my favorite ways to explore is to use Google Maps. It's like you're a explorer back in the day, you know, and you have this map that some person drew up and you're trying to use it to navigate the world. There's something special about navigating without any clear direction that is pretty fun, and we're gonna use this to find a new park to post up at. I think I know where we're gonna go. Ooh, it looks like a big accident right here. Someone was walking up with some glasses and they just shattered them all. Truly unfortunate. It was probably a New Year's celebration, and they were bringing home glasses for their party, and then they just toppled it all. Speaking of New Year's, so I've been traveling in Europe for I think a little bit over 2 weeks now, and because of that, I haven't really taken the time to reflect on my New Year's resolutions. But if I'm gonna be completely real, I don't think I've ever fully followed a New Year's resolution ever, and so I think because of that, I don't know if I should even make one. It feels wrong not to, because it's like your opportunity and excuse to just improve yourself and to level up. Why wouldn't you take the opportunity to level up? I'm at an interesting point in my life right now where I've been trying a lot of new things, and this past year I've been traveling a lot, an insane amount. I like traveling, but at the same time it doesn't lead to a very consistent routine, and I also like consistency. And so traveling and being consistent is just not something that goes hand in hand, and I haven't really nailed what that is, because I feel like I'm always trying to maximize the opportunity of exploring where I'm at and not necessarily spending my time in the hotel room editing or doing whatever administrative work. I just want to live life, but at the same time, I guess maybe that's the biggest constant that I've had, is that I've been living life, and I'm really good at it. I'm just having a good time wherever I go, but I also feel like that's not always the most productive thing. But maybe things don't always have to be so productive, you know what I'm saying? What is progress? I think at the end of the day, you just gotta be happy. I'd say I'm pretty happy for the most part. All right, we found ourselves the next park pit stop on our Lisbon park tour. Reminds me of one of those parks in New York. I feel like with all the traveling that I've done over the past year, going to Japan, Mexico City, Guadalajara, New York, Thailand, Malaysia, it's made me really question, what do I like about traveling, and what kind of traveling style do I like? I really, really enjoy just living a casual, or doing the casual full day experience of a local. It's kind of like imagining myself in the shoe of what would I be doing if I just lived here. And that to me is fun. But I think it's also dangerous, because if I can truly imagine what it's like to just live in a new place, there are so many options for me to think of oh yeah, no, I could totally live here, And then I'm just constantly thinking about all these different places that I could live at. And it's a little dangerous, because one day I just might, just kidding. Unless. But I think if there was anything that I do enjoy taking away from my travels, is experiencing things that I enjoy back at home through the lens of what would that look like here. So I think in this case for me these days has been a lot around tea. I feel like tea is one of those, tea and coffee, it's really popular everywhere you go, and there's a different spin on it and different ways that people consume these different beverages. And then another constant that I've had is running, because I've been running with some of my friends back at home, and so part of that is being consistent with running. And wherever you go, there are runners, regardless of how cold or hot the weather is. What do I want to take away from my experience here that becomes part of my daily routine? I think that's always an interesting thing. Oh, and then also cars. Look at this. You'll never find that in the US, that's for sure. Matching. I think it's pretty cool to see what cars are available here. There's a car life like here. Really appreciated from all the places that I go to is being able to walk through the super mundane things and just explore them that way, because I think it's cool to see all the touristy things, but at the same time, like, it's just so curated and touristy that I don't think I appreciate it as much, because I just feel like there's so much curation that it's meant to just be universally cool to everyone who's traveling from somewhere else. But I think the experience of just walking through the super hilly areas and seeing locals at your local mercado, I think to me that sounds like a cooler experience. Walking up these hills are really no joke. I'm out of breath, but we're almost at the park, so it's time for us to relax. Now this park looks lit. I love the little, like, I don't even know what they're called. They're basically like little park pop-ups, and they're at almost every park. It's so great. I feel like we gotta have more of that in the US for sure. And sometimes I wonder why not. But I think those are bigger questions that I do not have answers for. Look, you can see a little tower from here. Big vibes. Life here in Lisbon, and maybe Europe overall, has been really slow paced, but not in a bad way. It's like not being used to take your time. The waiter is not rushing you out of the restaurant. Most restaurants, no tipping, but people are still nice, or at least they're like very straight up with you. Like if they're not nice, they're just like super blunt, and like I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think it's something that I hope to find more of in my life. I think just the appreciating the slowness. There's like a kid that's just like eyeing the camera. I'm like, please, I don't know if I can outrun your bike. We're chilling. Yeah, I think the current place in life that I'm at is taking things slow, but also being consistent. Ever since 2020, it's been a whirlwind of random things, and I don't want to say nothing's happened, but it feels like it just passed by so fast. Like ever since then, it's just kind of been like a hodgepodge and mash of the same thing, which is very much not. But it feels that way, and I'm not sure if I'm that big of a fan of that. When I think about like how do I combat that, because you know the further you go in life, the faster your years go, right? Because it proportionately is a much smaller amount of your life versus when you're like 10, right? A year is like a tenth of your life, whereas if you're 30, a year is 3.3%. So it's a very big difference, and I'm starting to really feel that because I just turned 30. Yeah, I think I just want to document a little bit more for myself, just to remember things, because I've noticed that when I document my life a little bit more and compile it, it almost serves as like a journal of sorts, except I remember even better because I think there's like a visual aspect tied to it. I kind of want to just like make videos to document the different eras in my life, and I'm pretty sure future me would appreciate it. But right now I have a challenge with my girlfriend to post one video a week, and I think the goal right now for me is to just stay consistent, document my life, so that I'm also proactive about the things that I want to be doing just because I'm documenting it. And it's like when you have someone watching you, it's nice to know that you're being held accountable. So the challenge right now is to post once a week, and if one of us fails to do so, $1,000 goes into a joint travel budget. Ideally, the travel budget stays at zero and we just work with what we got normally, but I think this is a good challenge to stay consistent. But I think that's my intentions here. If you made it this far, I'm glad, and I hope my storytelling gets a little bit better. That just comes with consistency. So see you next week. The bells are ringing, and you know what time it is? It's time to get active. Get out there. Be consistent at whatever you want to do. Enjoy life a little bit too. Okay, bye.